And today, we're taking the possibilities of Samsung Health to the next level. Health and wellness device here to change the shape of future health, the Galaxy Ring.
Hope you're doing good. Michael back with another video. Back here to talk about Samsung Galaxy Unpacked 2024 that just took place yesterday, January 17th. Yes, I'm recording this the day after. I want to sit with my thoughts. I wanted to really think about what Samsung really just showed us. And as you guys just saw with the opening clip, how is it that no one has even mentioned Samsung's new Galaxy Ring? Now, I get it. They haven't and didn't give us any more information other than we know it's primarily going to be used for sleep tracking, of course, fitness or your daily tracking in general. And it's going to be perfect for Samsung Health and the ecosystem that they're building. But they didn't give us nothing after that. But it did at least kind of show us a glimpse as to what it will look like. So I did want to address this real quick before jumping into the S24, S24 Plus, and Ultra. Are you guys excited about the Galaxy Ring? For me, it's bittersweet because, of course, I just left dealing with Samsung on like a daily driver mainstream device basis and have converted over to Apple products. I will be getting one of the S24s, and we'll talk about that later. But I probably won't get the Samsung Galaxy Ring because I do rock an Aura Ring. Maybe I'll drop a video about that. I've been rocking one for almost a year now, and it did look oddly similar. So I don't know if they have maybe there's something going on with them, or they just, of course, came out with a ring, and maybe that's what a lot of these rings are going to look like. It's something very similar in that nature in terms of the inside, the grooves and where the sensors are, as well as the outside being very polished. So it's interesting from that perspective. And that's why it's bittersweet, because as soon as I leave, you drop a product that I was waiting on you guys to drop for the longest, which is why I opted to Aura. We are still waiting on Apple to bring us an Apple Ring or an iRing, something of that nature. Maybe it could be a surprise piece of technology. We'll see. I know them dealing with Massimo is, got them distracted, but it will be nice to see something like that to keep all of the tracking in-house with their technologies. So I just want to talk about that real quick, and I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, let's get into Samsung's S24 event. I hear and saw it was very, very lackluster. I'm not going to lie. As much as I still appreciate and love Samsung, it was kind of a boring snooze fest. And I didn't even realize it went that long on top of that. So with the S24 and S24 Plus, there's the regular updates, as you like to say. And I actually think they're pretty good, especially for the S24 Plus. And I'm a little shocked that I think the S24 also got this feature, but I thought all of them already had it, which was 120 hertz adaptive display. So it's good to see that whether or not that was the case, that is here with the S24, the smaller one at 6.2 inches. The S24 Plus gets bigger at 6.7, which is just a hair shorter than the S24 Ultra, but now it has Quad HD along with the 120 hertz. I think that is magnificent. The battery life is still high on both at 4,000 and at 4,900, which is amazing. One of the things that still hasn't changed in Samsung's charging hemisphere, and maybe they're still a little traumatized by their Galaxy Note 7 debacle, but wired charging or fast wired charging is still at 25 watts for the S24 and 45 watts for the S24 Plus. You would think that the S24 Ultra, which we'll get into later, would then maybe have higher, faster charging standards, but no, that too is still locked at 45 watts charging. So I'm wondering what's taking Samsung so long to embrace faster charging, like your Oppos and Xiaomi's and OnePluses. What's taking so long to adopt faster wired charging? Let me know down in the comment section below you guys' thoughts there. But I do have my trusty iPad here to get into some more of the details, because there was a lot of little things that was intriguing from the Galaxy Unpacked event. And before I actually even do that, if I show you guys real quick, if you notice, it's a little matted and there's a screen protector on my iPad. Well, this is from Paperlike. Shout out to them for sending this out. I actually found a screensaver, a screen protector that I don't mind using. Now, yes, I could have also opted for a matte screen protector in general, but this one, whenever I get an Apple Pencil again, can be used with that, which creates this more natural paper-like writing sensation, and you get the benefit of an additional matte layer that allows for less in-screen glare and really gives like a grainy like pop to the screen. So when you're watching content, it feels like it's a little more movie-esque in my opinion. So if you guys are interested in obtaining one of these, they make a paper-like screen protector for primarily every iPad. So if you have an iPad, go ahead and get it. It's really good. I would even get one for an iPad mini because that's my next iPad I would like to get outside of a Pro. And my wife's 10th gen also has a paper-like screen protector. Links will be down in the comment section below. Now let's get into the details. The S24 and 24 Plus rocking 6.2 inches, 6.7 inches. The biggest thing that they highlighted was 2600 nit peakness for the brightness of the displays. That is blinding. Okay, I believe Apple reached 2000, right? Which means the newer iPhone 16s may also reach 2500 to 2600 nits peak brightness. That is insane. I mean, you will definitely have absolutely no problem seeing your screen out in broad daylight because just how glaringly bright that's going to be. Definitely understand that it's going to take a whole lot of battery consumption probably when it's outputting that kind of peak brightness, but it's actually nice to see like these screens can reach that. And year over year, Samsung's always good at improving their technology, their display technology, and of course you're going to have that with the S24 series having beautiful glass protected by, and this is really with the S24 Ultra. We'll get into that in a second. As I mentioned before, the S24 is full HD plus 120 hertz. The S24 Plus is the Quad HD 120 hertz, 4,000 to 4,900 milliamp batteries, 25 and 45 watt charging difference between the two, 50 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel 3x zoom, and a 12 megapixel front facing camera. Now, this is where I think Samsung messed up with the S24 because I probably would have opted for it had they actually provided that as the base or maybe even the only option for the S24. The S24 starts off with 128 gigs. We are past that in this day and age now. We need 256. 128 is just not enough given software size and picture video size. Like those files are too big now to have 128 gigabytes. Like you can't keep nothing on your phone, and this is always going to become a thing as technology grows, as data becomes more sophisticated. The minimum amount of storage you're going to need is always going to have to bump up because of just how large file sizes have gotten. So 120 hertz needs to be left in the past. We're not there no more. And I wish Samsung brought that with the S24 at minimum to be 256. That's the next size. So 128 and 256 gigs of storage. I wish 128 was wiped out. Both models get 8 gigs of RAM, so they're not bumping up on the S24. But the S24 Plus comes in at 12 gigs of RAM at the bottom, period, along with 256 gigs and 512. So at the S24 Plus, they start off at minimum of 256 gigs with 512 gigabytes as a maximum, 12 gigs of RAM for both models. This is where I chime in and say this is the model I will be getting. It is the 256 gig S24 Plus. Because I'm not going to probably rock it as my daily driver after testing it, I don't need that much storage. So I'm going to be very happy rocking a 6.7 inch S24 Plus that will, of course, be very compatible with my Samsung TV. And what I kind of have going on now in terms of my setup, the tech that I use on a regular basis, I'm excited to use S24 Plus because to me, despite the Ultra, the S24 Plus is probably the best phone out of the three. I have to say that. And you know I love the Ultra. I've had 2 generations of Ultras, but that's why I'm landing with the S24 Plus. Even with the S23 Plus, I thought that was a very solid phone. But the S24 Plus is the best of the three. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. Which S24 device do you think is the best? Is it the S24, the Plus model, or the Ultra. And I'd like to know why, because we need conversations to start happening. And the price point starts at $800 for the S24 and $1,000 for the S24 Plus. That's all I need right there. So what's next? The Galaxy S24 Ultra. This is where things go bonkers. Titanium has entered the picture for the S24 Ultra in terms of the rails, of course. Flat screen this time, so no curved. Now it's curved around the rails, but the screen itself is completely flat, and it looks beautiful in the images and the videos that I've seen of it. Looks fantastic. I'm glad that they brought the flat back. Even though I love the curved screens, I'm very satisfied with seeing that they went flat for the S24 Ultra. Really kind of reminds me of the Note, the Galaxy Note. Quad HD 6.7 inch Corning Gorilla Glass Armor. So Corning Gorilla Armor is the new glass. It's no longer Victus. This armor provides 75% less glare, which is crazy, and 4 times the strength of the previous Victus 2, I guess. Now I heard, and Mr. Aaron from Mr. Who's the Boss, he tried to hammer them with trying to figuring out how is that quantifiable with the 4 times the strength, and he couldn't get nothing out of it. So that number does kind of feel like nothing, but you usually know year over year there are improvements in the glass that gets made for our smartphones and tech in general. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 across the board, and this is where I wish Samsung would have brought these features to the S24 and 24 Plus as well, which we'll get into in a second. I'll mention it now. AI. We'll get into it. This phone is able to achieve Wi-Fi 7. I actually don't know if it's all 3. I know it's the Ultra at minimum. But Wi-Fi 7 is capable with the S24 Ultra, which is insane because it just got illegalized or official not that long ago. 200 megapixel, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel 3 times zoom, and a 50 megapixel 5 times zoom, and a 12 megapixel front facing camera. Remember that previous to this, we had a 10 times zoom, but the range that you would get between 3 and 10 wasn't that good when you were trying to individually zoom in. And so opting for the 5X makes more sense because of the bigger pixel size and 50 megapixels, you're able to zoom to 10X and get probably a much more clear image than you were with the 10X zoom. And so now you have that range between 3 and 5, and then the quality of the lens will still allow you to get a good enough image to probably use for social media or for posting for family at that maxed out 10 times zoom. 5,000 milliamp battery, but really it's like 4855. I was reading on Samsung's newsroom that the battery is actually closer to 4855 on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. So it's interesting that the battery on that is less than the battery on the S24 Plus. But you should get better battery life out of it, I would think. But again, I'm not testing the Ultra, so we'll have to be on the lookout for other reviews on the Ultra. And then, as I said, 45 watt fast charging is maxed out. It's a shame that even with the Ultra, they won't increase how fast you can charge your device back up. 12 gigs across the board for a 256 gig, 512 gig, and a 1 terabyte model. You get 12 gigs of RAM across all 3, and the starting price is $1,300. Now, what makes the Ultra stand out? Galaxy AI. And a few of the things that really pointed out to me was the circle to search via Google. So Google and Samsung continue to strengthen their bond when it comes to software and how they assist one another with hardware. So I guess you would press and hold on the home screen, and then you can circle on the image you want that's displayed on the screen, and it will pull up in Google on that same page still what the search results. So you don't have to leave. It doesn't take you anywhere else. It's right then and there. If you were questioning something, you can do that. And you can kind of sort of do that press and hold in other apps. Like maybe somebody said a phrase, you can press and hold and like highlight that or scribble what you want to highlight in the text, and it will search that for you. So very intuitive, very, very AI machine learning based, very exciting to me because it's those little small things that you want to be able to do and not have to leave a whole nother app. So it's not even like being dumb and lazy from that perspective. It's, I can do this within the same app and not have to leave it and leave my point of reference, get the information I need, and resume exactly what I'm doing. I like those little small things. My question is, how does this work if you use swipe gestures? Is it you just swipe up and hold from the corner as you would any other time with Google Assistant on Samsung devices? I'm guessing that's how you would do that. It's crazy because I couldn't even think about that when I was thinking about this yesterday, and it popped in my head right now as I'm recording this video. So I'm guessing that's the way to actually do that with the swipe gestures activated and not the capacitive home buttons, so to speak. And then you can also live translate within phone calls and text messaging. I think this is very, very cool because let's say you get and need to talk to somebody or maybe even call the wrong person. You can use live translate to translate the conversation for you. So they speak in their language, it gets translated to you, you listen as it's playing back, and then you speak in your language, and then it will translate for them on their end. What a beautiful technology. Another way to continue to break barriers of communication via the phone app and the messaging app, which will then allow you to do the same thing. There's actually a different window above the number row is where you see like the little the Galaxy AI symbol and like the translate feature or settings, and you get like 3 different options. And even within there, you're able to also like rephrase your text message. So if you wanted to rephrase it differently, AI and machine learning will actually rephrase it in different forms of slang, respectively. So professional, slang, ebonics for lack of a better term. It will change that, lax or real casual. It will change your text message and send it in a different format for you. And there's a third option, but I can't even think about it right now. But the point is, that's what we got going on so far with AI on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I think that is pretty cool. What was highlighted was the Notes app, voice memos, phone app, as I just said, and you have to download those language packs. The photo app as well will all have these AI features, ready to go. And what's cool about like the Notes app and the voice memos, it will like organize what you have going on. So, it will label certain things for you in the Notes app. With voice memos, it can summarize the voice memos, or if you recorded a conversation between you and somebody else, it would kind of summarize what was talked about. And then with the photo app, if you decide to use Magic Eraser that is pixel specific, but somehow Samsung's AI is able to do the same thing with less restrictions, meaning you can move people all over the place, and it does a fairly good job of replacing them in the image, which is absolutely fire. It will leave a watermark down on that image to let others know, including in the metadata, that this was a generated AI image, meaning it was tweaked. So that's actually fire. And I was kind of joking around on Twitter the other day. I was like, let me see that metadata because we're about to have a bunch of people fabricating, dunking, and being in certain locations and walking on water, which is cool from a creative perspective as long as people are honest in that way. And that's why they're doing a watermark metadata confirmation of that, to keep that honesty around now that we have AI being able to make pictures, basically. So that was pretty interesting there. And that's pretty much all that took place yesterday, along with the Galaxy Ring. I like the Galaxy Ring a lot. I think that provides a lot of more accessibility into sleep tracking and helping people try to get better sleep. If they can wear something less intrusive while sleeping, that can get that data. That's why I use the Oura Ring for sleep now. And not to spoil it, but got an Apple Watch. We'll talk about that and later. A plethora of content is going to be coming down the pipeline for the Apple Watch as well. But yes, that is Samsung for you guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the Unpacked event. Was it boring to you? Was it fun? Was it exciting? Did you get to go? What do you think about the 3 different S24 devices and the Galaxy Ring? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button. It's free. Subscribe to the channel is free, and hit that notification bell is also free. So that way you never miss my video. So that way you and I can sit back, chillax, see what's cracking. Jermaine Micah signing out. Till the next video. Wait for